Can you hear the rain? It's just started raining here.
A little.
Okay.
Rain on my fingertips.
I think you broke your mic with that. Okay, that sounds better.
My mic just dropped out then, didn't
What was
it?
I going to say?
My mic
That's
just
what I
dropped
just
out
said. I said, I think you broke your mic with... Yeah, I said, I think you broke your mic with your singing.
What was I saying? Oh, that's right. Rain
Oh,
on my fingertips. Do you think that? Underrated Madonna classic? Do you think?
Did you see Madonna at the VMAs today?
No,
Jesus Christ.
I didn't see Madonna. I saw Conor McGregor trying to fight Machine Gun Kelly. Did you see that?
What's a Machine Gun Kelly? I did, yeah.
know.
What is
I'm
a
in
Machine
my
Gun
40s,
Kelly?
mate.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not far off. Let me get up a picture of Madonna because, Jesus.
I might say that this is the What's the Go podcast. Don't be startled.
Oh, shit, eh?
Don't be startled. There are no engine noises.
We've exchanged cars for rain, though.
Rain.
All right.
Yeah, now listen.
Right, how can I find a picture? I know where I'm going.
Don't find a picture for a podcast.
Yeah, go on.
Don't find a picture
Oh, it's
for
for
a
you.
podcast.
We can discuss. Okay. Go on. What do you got?
Well, I'm waiting for people to adjust to us not being in a car. So just give them a moment.
Fair play.
How long do you think they need?
I don't know. Maybe a bit longer.
Right.
Jesus, that lady is 64. I'm looking at pictures of Madonna now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But
Wow.
Jesus in what way? You're not giving us the direction you Jesusing in.
She doesn't look like a human anymore. No human so much no more.
Is that a bit unkind? I mean, like you say, she's 64. What do you want her to look like?
1 second. What's this, Liz?
I wanted to see the picture.
Oh, you want to see Madonna? Okay. Yeah, have a look at Madonna. That's Madonna. I think her butt's fake. That's Madonna. 64 at the VMAs today.
She looks plastic.
Yeah.
But would it be unusual if she didn't, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'd like it. I'd prefer it if we got a real creepy looking old 64-year-old Madge.
I think you're being really ageist here. What do you think you're going to look like at 64?
Fucking more, less good than her. I'm saying she looks really good.
All right. Well, this is probably the kind of thing you remember from before, just kind of still instead of moving. It's lockdown here in Sydney. My car, the poor car's out the front. It's not doing nothing. Not going nowhere.
You reckon the cars are collectively sad about lockdown?
Well, I think my car's probably happy it doesn't have to listen to so much fucking shite.
That's fair.
Yeah, look. Well, we should probably mention one or two large things that have happened since last time we were here. Monty?
Yeah, look, the NRL season's nearly done. No, I think you mean the baby, right? I had a baby.
Yeah,
Is that what you mean? Yeah, I had a baby.
He's a dad now.
Yeah. Is there anywhere that they could hear more about my parenting experience?
Well, you could sit here and we could do like a 4-hour-long podcast of you telling it all. Or people could go over to the Dad Pants podcast, which is quite literally all about Monty having a child and us talking about it. And it's also an excuse to go off into
and more. Yeah,
dad
and more.
areas.
Yeah.
Good solid dad chat areas, you know?
Yeah, dad areas. Yeah, dad areas.
So yeah, do find Dad Pants. You know, no, I won't say that. All right.
Okay, good.
So, Monty, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Feel great. Yeah, it's been around for a while. I'm getting used to it.
Now, here's another visual thing. You appear to be having direct sunlight right on your face. Is that irritating?
It's a little irritating, but it's dappled through clouds, so it's not as bad as it can be at this time of day.
Or it does not look dappled from here.
Dappled is a good word.
Yeah.
How about that?
Hang on. Got it.
Get screenshots, you dick.
Well, I want people to be able to say whether they think that's dappled or not. I don't think it's
So
dappled.
no pictures of Madonna, but we're looking for Madonna dappled light here. All right, fine, whatever.
Well, I'm not going to shame Madonna. She's a 64-year-old lady.
Also, I've heard that she knows if you shame her and comes for you.
Well, this is just obviously a little hello, and we're back for a little. We've been away for a little while, but we're saying hello. There's lots of sport going on, which we will mention and then probably go off on a tangent and completely ignore. Some of the sport topics we will probably ignore include US Open. Dylan Alcott,
Yeah.
goating it.
Yeah, goat dog.
Medvedev also.
Fucking! You know what? The Medvedev stuff. Fucking Joker had a meltdown. He started crying on the court.
Yeah.
During the game, not for just out of upsetness.
Oh well, that's okay. You want your passion, isn't he a bit? I don't know whether I'm allowed to say this legally.
Old for this?
Oh, what? Crying on the court?
Yes.
Never too old to cry on the court.
All right. What were you going to say? What's illegal that you were going to say?
Like maybe a bit vaccine hesitancy.
Oh yeah. He's a douche about that. Yeah.
Is he really,
Yeah.
or am I getting confused?
No, I don't think it was maybe not vax hesitancy, vax laxness. Maybe
Vax lax.
he had that. Yeah, vax lax. Yeah. He
All
had
right.
that party with all the unvaxxed people.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. He was vax-lax for sure.
Yeah, vax lax. Yeah, absolutely vax lax.
And then Emma Raducanu as well. So
Now Emma Raducanu, is that which one won and which one lost?
Emma
There was two
won.
teenage girls. Yeah, okay. Where is she from? Is she the Canadian or did the Canadian lose?
I'm pretty sure she's Canadian because
Oh,
I
that's
don't want to sound stereotypical, but Layla Fernandez was the other one, which sounds less
Yeah.
Canadian to me.
Well,
But
you know.
who knows? Everyone's from everywhere these days. I mean, it's 2021. It's 2021.
Fernandez is the Canadian one in that equation, weirdly. The other one
really?
is not Canadian. Yeah.
Well, then she got all fucked up. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But did you see her speech following the loss? It was pretty bloody good for a teen. She stopped halfway through and just started saying, "I want to talk to the people of New York and tell you've been through a lot, and it's a big anniversary for you guys, and thanks for coming. And I hope I'm as resilient as you guys when I'm that age." And it's like, wow.
Yeah, right. I thought you might have been talking about those floods. Do you know there's like thousands of people dying from those floods in New York?
In New York, isn't that crazy?
People getting bloody stuck in their
In the basement.
in basement apartments and stuff. Like it's
Yeah, that's not good.
no.
And also, the Flushing Meadows tennis people had news that tomorrow night there might be a rain event unlike any ever seen before. And they're like, we'll go ahead anyway. We'll see what happens. And then, nearly killed a whole bunch of people because they all got stuck at the tennis courts.
Yeah. Where do you know where did Flushing Meadows come from?
I have asked this every time I ask this. I'm sure I look it up every time.
And forget every time?
No, I think Flushing is just an area of New York.
Oh, it's Flushing, Queens.
Exactly, yeah.
Isn't that where the nanny's from?
Yeah. The flashy girl. Sorry, I just punched my mic. The flashy girl from Flushing.
Yeah.
The nanny named Fran.
That's the one.
I'm guessing there was a person called Flushing at some point.
Well, you might be right there. So congrats to them, especially Dylan, because we love Dylan.
Yeah.
Socceroos on a good run, eh?
Yeah, I mean, the last one was pretty boring, but I mean, 10 in a row, can't say no to
You
that.
can't sniff at that. And
No, you can't.
we are going to advance in our group, surely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think so. The good thing, not only did we win, but the Japanese lost one or maybe drew one. So that was our main competition. So, yeah, we'll go through there, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's
to
Ricciardo. What about Ricciardo?
Oh, Ricciardo. Just back to the Socceroos for 1 second.
No.
How do we feel about going to the human rights abuse zone for the World Cup next year? Like, is that good, or should we be boycotting this?
Qatar?
Yeah.
Well, it should be boycotted on. Well, again, this is a second legal thing I've got to be careful of. Because, people just listen to sue us.
Yeah. That's half our audience. People
It's-
listening for slip-ups to sue us.
It's a bit tainty, that whole winning of that World Cup, wasn't it? Bit tainty, bit underhand.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the great thing, the whole story about how we, tried to be a bit underhanded ourselves, but bribed the wrong people.
We weren't underhanded enough.
We were underhanded in the wrong direction. Bribed
We-
some one idiot and got his vote, but nothing else.
We looked like naive idiots in that area.
Yeah.
Couldn't bribe
bloody
our way
charge.
out of a paper bag.
Love it. That's how you get out of bags usually.
Yeah.
Bribe your way out.
Or
What was
Quade
that?
Cooper.
Ricciardo? Craig Cooper.
I'm moving.
Sure,
I'm moving through fast. You don't have time to talk about
bam,
that.
bam. I love it.
All right, go on. What do you want to say
Quade
about
Cooper.
Ricciardo?
Nothing. Good on him. He does the shoey. Was happy about that. Good for him. Good for Ricciardo.
Dylan Alcott also did the trophy E.
Wait, we're back to Alcott now?
Well, because you're talking about drinking out of weird
I know,
stuff.
yes. No, Dylan Alcott did well with that. He drank right out of that thing. So did Ricciardo. Are we making a maybe not the best kind of look for Australians on the world stage? Is this what we want? Bunch
What,
of
drinking out of
drunks?
stuff?
Yeah, we'll drink out of anything.
I thought we would have been over this by now. It's been around a few years, hasn't it?
Right? I think the shoey thing is the stupidest thing going.
Oh.
I don't get the appeal.
No, it's Bogan's laughing at. Well, Bogans. I
Other
wanna say.
bogans. Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow,
It's weird.
that's right. Dylan Alcott. Sorry.
No.
Ricciardo, Bogan,
Ricciardo, yeah.
according to Stuart.
Oh, he's all right. Then we moved on to what was the one you went for after that?
Quade Cooper kicking
That's
us
it,
some
Cooper.
win and goal.
But not an Australian citizen, eh?
No,
How's that work? He can kick
it's
a
the only
20
way the Wallabies could have won is if someone who wasn't
Yeah, right.
technically a Wallaby.
I read a article which said, Quade Cooper winning field goal shocks the Springboks. It's like, are we that bad that it shocks other teams that we could win something?
Also, did it say shock the box? Because if it
that's
didn't,
good. No, it should have. Shock the box.
sick
Shock
having to write
the
other
box.
people's headlines for them, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, right. I didn't watch any of that game. Did you watch it? I haven't watched Union in quite a few years.
No, but if I knew we had a non-Wallaby in the Wallabies and we were therefore half a chance, I might have
Has
watched.
Quade Cooper ever played for the All Blacks? I feel like he has, hasn't he?
No, he wouldn't make the All
Are you
Blacks.
sure?
What are you talking about?
I
He wouldn't
thought
make the All
did.
Blacks.
Really? Yeah, that's a good
All right,
point.
hang on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Googling too. That's all right.
All right. I thought you wanted to look at
Nationality,
more Madonna.
Australian.
You finished with Madonna?
no.
You can look up Quade Cooper All Blacks, can you?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
No, he's only played for the Australians.
Yeah.
That's good.
You shouldn't have gone against me in rugby. Rugby, my jam.
That's fair. Well, how about this? What's your jam then? What's the team he plays for when he's not playing for Australia?
Wanderers.
It's the Hanazono Kintetsu Liners.
Okay.
Comes straight out of
I hoped it
Japan.
would be Wanderers. That's my favorite kind of mascotty franchise name. It's not intimidating or representative of anything. It's just
Great point.
just people. What are you meant to picture? Just people getting out in the field and just meandering around.
Meandering around Wanderers. Yeah, there's a lot of Wanderers, aren't there? There's a lot of wandering sport teams. What does that mean? That's interesting. Yeah, good point, Stu. Yeah. You got any? Yeah. What else you got? Keep moving through this. I like this rapid pace sports review.
Well, I was just going to go. I thought you'd probably have thoughts on the AFL and NRL, so I was just getting through a few other things before we landed on
get stuff
those.
out of the way. Yeah, fair play. Might I point out I think sports does things that you can't do in natural worlds. That drama is written.
Wow.
Thing is,
Hang on. What a broad,
yeah, I didn't
what a-
really get. I didn't get my point across so well there. Sounded like a cousin.
But it was a big, grand statement, and you gave me no time to just kind of take it all in.
But I was talking supernatural kind of
You
vibes
got
there.
some people still trying to understand that we're not in a car here. You got to give people.
Well,
a
what I'm
chance.
talking about is Ronaldo's return to Man United.
Right.
It was as fairy tale as can be. Like coming back, scoring 2 goals on debut, looking great, and just like, you can't write this shit.
Yeah, but it was. Didn't you get a sense that it was always going to happen like that?
Yeah, I kind of did, but it's kind of, it still gets you. Still, turns you
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
hits you in the face hole.
Face
Um,
hole.
Yeah, the mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ronaldo. I watched some NFL this morning. Nothing
yeah.
really to report there. Yeah, it's first weekend back this year.
First weekend back.
Yeah.
So, do they have, as someone who has not watched a lot of NFL, do they
Yeah, go.
have the same deal that you kind of get in the NRL and AFL, where it's scrappy as all shit the first few rounds, or do they
It's-
come on point?
No, it's scrappy compared to how it will be, but it's probably more on point than the lazy league players who haven't, tried to do any ball skills for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But the thing I always find is that because it's a weirdly divided league of, divisions of 4 teams, and it's like every year there's one who came last the year before and now first. So
Yeah.
the first week is just really hard to tell who's good and who's not, because a team who was really good last year isn't necessarily really good this year, and same the other way around.
Yeah. No, I get you. I'll never understand as long as I live, and I played the game. I'll never understand how footy players forget how to catch a ball over the summer
Bizarre,
months.
isn't it? It's bizarre. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, they're a special breed, your league player. Shall we
something-
move into league then?
Well, no. Something that interested me, I just wanted to get off before that, is the 5th test cancelled. India and England cancelled
Didn't
the
see
5th
that.
test.
Why?
COVID concerns.
Where was it to be played?
Which oval?
Yeah.
Old Trafford.
Oh, yeah. Nah, full of COVID.
Oh, is it? That's COVID central?
No, I got no idea. No, that's where your boy Ronaldo made his return this weekend.
Well, then can't be that COVID-y, can it?
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
I think the Indians weren't happy with the environment that they were asked to kind of operate in, like COVID-y compliancy wise.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What, thought it was too compliant or not compliant enough? Didn't want to wear masks or wanted to wear 4 masks? I don't know what you mean.
And masks on under their batting helmets.
Oh.
No, yeah. So I think that's pretty big to just cancel a test match in a 5-test series. Also,
my brain went on a good thing from there. That run. Sorry, it's sports related, but
we'll decide that.
Did you watch much of the Paralympics?
Not enough. No, but to be fair, didn't watch much of the
Actual Olympics.
other Olympics either. Well, don't call it the actual Olympics. That's unfair.
That is unfair because I much prefer the Paralympics. They're heaps better. And I fell in love with this sport that is so simple on the hot face of it, but until you watch it.
Murderball?
No. 5-a-side blind soccer.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me.
Right. It's just, first of all, they're wearing these things that look like Black Plague masks.
Yeah.
Like they have these
Not
face-pointy
like
things.
the beak, the doctor's beaks.
Yeah, like the beak kind of vibe. Yeah, exactly. And so it's so that everyone is the same level of blindness. And then I didn't understand this. The 2 goalkeepers are not blind, which I find like that. Surely you'd never score if the only person on the field who can see is the keeper. But they do score. They do score, and the referee is cited, which I found quite funny. I was making a lot of jokes about that. But the thing that I didn't realise, but you get, is that the referee must have to be very careful about what he calls a foul because everything is just hectically foul-like because they're just hacking, swinging legs around, kicking at each other. There's no kind of... At some points, one man will kind of hold another man thinking he's holding him off the ball, but they're down one corner of the pitch, nowhere near anyone else.
Yeah.
And it's just like... It was brilliant. It was such
Is there a lot of grub work?
I think it's one of those things where there's probably a lot of grub work, but you can easily go, well, I'm blind. I don't know. I can't see anything. I didn't know I was doing any grub work, you know? Yeah, it was super entertaining to watch.
Maybe for next episode, you can come back with how a vision impaired referee how that sport would work with that. Because that's a concept.
Okay. Well, bloody go watch the AFL, mate, every week. They bloody glasses, you know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't meaning to open that up, but bloody hell, you went there.
Well, I still feel like it was a weird move of them about a decade ago to sponsor the umpires' shirts with OPSM.
Specsavers, wasn't it?
No. The OPSM, I think.
Maybe NRL Specsavers, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, it's funny that they do that to the two referees because you're just opening yourself up for people yelling at you.
All right. Well, while we're here, what do you think of the guys in the grand final, the AFL guys?
I'm happy about the Bulldogs. I think I said to you on a podcast somewhere, I don't even know what we were talking about, that the Bulldogs would go on to thrash Brisbane, and they didn't. But the next week they thrashed a team, and so I was kind of right. I'll tell you what, my dad put it well. I watched the Swans match. We lost by 1 point to GWS. He's just occasionally just walking around muttering 1.1 fucking point, 1 point, and not caring about the rest of the finals. And so, yeah, I'm not as into it as I would have been had we not lost by 1 point.
Yeah. But you're our AFL correspondent. You've got to be able to talk more about than just like the Swans getting dudded.
All right. Well, from this weekend, Maxi Gawn is a monster. That performance on Friday night was just intense. I didn't think Melbourne would do Geelong by that much. I thought Melbourne would do Geelong by a whack. I think Geelong were on a slide, but wow, they looked unbeatable. And then you're thinking after that game, you're thinking, well, whoever wins this is screwed because Melbourne will smash them. And then the Bulldogs go out and pump them as well. So it's like two teams coming off huge wins going into the final. It should be a bloody entertaining match.
Rain, feel it on my fingertips. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping the Bulldogs win just so we can see another incredibly posed photo from Chris Hemsworth in front of his telly with his big jacked arms.
Yeah. Calm down, Hemsworth, you know. Yeah, all right. No, I'm hoping for the Bulldogs as well. For some reason, they dislike Melbourne, even though I shouldn't. They're non-threatening, but, you know.
They are, aren't they?
They're like a very non-threatening side.
They're like marriage material.
They feel like a generic football team. Melbourne Football Club.
They're not a bad boy you sow your wild oats with. They're just nice and
exactly. Safe. Yeah. Bulldogs, though. You ever seen that documentary, Year of the Dog?
No. I remember when it came out, me going, ooh, I'd like to see that. I never did anything. That's my usual modus operandi.
Yeah. I think it was well ahead of its time. A kind of behind the curtains look at sports teams. Speaking of
I do want to see Tales from Tiger Town as well.
Well, I was just about to tell you, it's really upsetting.
It would be for you, though, wouldn't it?
Well, it's just like some of the stuff you see him training, and you're like, really? That's our equipment? That's our space? Like, this doesn't look like a professional. Like the first episode, you see him go into the rooms, and the officers are on demountables, and you're like, well, what are we doing here? Like, it's not a primary school from the mid-90s. Like, what are we like? Why are we meeting in demountables?
I'll tell you something that might upset you. Manly have demountables, and they're doing bloody all right, mate.
Why does no one want to put some stuff in the ground, make a real building to?
Well, I wonder in West's case if the demountables are representative of the tenuous, merge club relationship. They might feel that if they split, they can easily pick those demountables up and send one out to Campbelltown and one to Balmain.
That's upsetting. Am I right in thinking since mergers that there's only been one merge club win, and it was us in 05? St George haven't won, have they? Since they merged?
Oh, I'm going to have to go back. I don't remember the... well, they would have had to merge in...
they have.
They would have had to merge in 99. I've got 2002 ringing around in my head. For some
Really?
reason. Hang
That
on.
feels the year after Newcastle.
Hang on. No, I'm sure that's not right. No, it's Roosters. But who did they play, guys? Who did they play?
Well, play is fine, but like I don't think
No, they
think we're
played
the
the
only one who won
Warriors. I don't know.
one. Yeah.
And furthermore, I'm not going to stand here and just keep looking.
That's fair. But what I'm getting at is this far on, with the merger's not a good idea, maybe.
Well, see, it's the mergers. Here's what I don't understand about mergers. Mergers would make more sense if you merged with the club that was potentially next to you geographically. Both of these mergers have a club smack bang in the middle of them. The West Tigers have the Bulldogs.
Para?
Bulldogs.
Well, we've got a few, I suppose. Yeah, Para and the Bulldogs. Technically
I think
between
if
us,
you
I
were
suppose.
if you were to drive from Leichhardt to Campbelltown, you'd go down Old Canterbury Road, though, wouldn't you? That's smack bang through.
Well, it depends which way you want to do it, but no matter which way you drive, you're going through someone else's territory. You could probably drive down to the M1, is it, near the airport, and drive through Rabbitohs territory to get down to.
Oh yeah, so all right, so we're going down.
Like-
we're going down through Rabbits
That's
territory to
M5,
get to the
yeah,
M5, then
Yeah,
through
yeah.
Bulldogs territory with a touch
Yeah.
of Dragons.
You hit a
Because
dragon. in there,
Bexley's
yeah.
Dragons, isn't it?
I think so.
That's where the M5 starts.
Yeah, and then if you wanted to go
So
the
you're
other
going,
way,
yeah, you're going.
if you wanted to go
on Rabbits into Bulldogs, Rabbits
Yeah.
into Dragons into Bulldogs before you
You
can
can
get
probably-
to Campbelltown.
you could probably go less if you went all the way up Parramatta Road to Parramatta, then
Yeah.
onto the M7 and across.
Yeah, make
But,
sure you stop at
then you
Auto
might
Alley.
hit Penrith as well too. You'd hit probably yeah.
What, get
Yeah,
out to the M7 and go down that way?
Yeah, exactly. That's so no matter which way you cut it, you're driving through another team's area to go from Leichhardt to
But,
Yeah,
and then of course with the St George Illawarra, you got a little team called the Cronulla Sharkies right bang in the middle of those two as well.
now that one feels less in the middle because of its almost kind
Careful
of
what you say.
alone. No, it's kind of like the bridge and stuff like that. Like
Oh,
it feels
right,
like
I see.
you know what I mean. Like it's
They're
kind
not
of
just
like
just not melting into each other. The suburbs, you mean?
No, you would have to kind of go out of your way to go through it. I think
Oh yeah, I guess. But then what are you saying? If you don't go through Sharks territory, then you're going through West territory to get from Kogarah to Wollongong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what are we thinking? So you're thinking it would have been better if we had a merge with someone close by?
I think it would have made more sense potentially for Illawarra to stand alone. And I know it's a financial thing, but they've got all that South Coast as a nursery.
Yeah.
And for Dragons and Cronulla to merge, as much as it would hurt me.
No, but makes sense, doesn't it?
Furthermore,
yeah.
I don't know who Balmain could have merged with though.
I was
Dogs,
thinking,
maybe.
No. What about North Sydney?
You got a big fucking harbour in the middle of it. You can't merge.
But that's it. But like if you stand on the edge of Balmain, right, and look across the water,
you're probably closer to North Sydney than to.
Yeah,
well, you're definitely to Campbelltown.
Yeah, much closer than Campbelltown. But like you could swim to North Sydney in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I think that when they were thinking of this, they were thinking kind of back to a very old school idea of what West was, because Balmain was the western suburbs at one point in Sydney history.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So they just said, well, Balmain's west, Campbelltown's west, get them together.
Yeah, put them together.
Anyway.
All right, well, with that being said, let's move on to the NRL this weekend. What were your thoughts, Stuart? What stood out to you?
I was very adamant to you on Friday that both Manly and Titans would win.
Yep.
Manly did not win. They got trounced. But I'm really upset about that Titans Roosters result. Like as much as I respect the Roosters and they've done such a brave job this year. I don't see how they can stand up for one more fight. You know what I mean?
I do. Yes.
Like they're running on fumes. Speaking of which, sorry, I forgot to mention Evander Holyfield on my run list before. Jeez.
Speaking of running on fumes, yeah. Did you listen to much of the Trump commentary?
No, I thought you'd be leading with that. I thought you wouldn't be able to wait to be able to start talking about that.
I haven't heard enough of it. I want to go hear it because
All
it'd be hilarious. It'd be great.
Sorry, yeah, and then Titans, man, that last pass, they couldn't. The winger was in the clear. Corey Thompson was in the clear, and he didn't fucking pass it.
You got to think that it sets up that, like, Panthers and Manly win next weekend, right? Like, can you see Eels or Roosters beating them? Probably
Roosters
not,
can, but purely not because of logic, just purely because they just keep defying logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. That's actually a good way to look at it.
And just that little bloody Sam Walker, he's a little magician, mate. Whenever he comes on, I like the way they're using him now.
Yeah.
Just let everyone else do the hard work for 70 minutes and bring him on for the last 10 so he can flounce around doing his fancy gear.
Yep. Yeah. Flounce around fancy gear.
South, I wonder, it was very impressive, but I wonder if they peaked in terms of getting themselves up and fired up and ferocious mentally in that game. I wonder if they can do it again.
Won't be able to back it up.
Well, if anyone can get them up, Wayne Bennett can get them up, but I just don't know if he can do that 2 weeks in a row because they needed that to beat Penrith.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it possible they play Penrith again?
I don't know.
How does that work? Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But that's a good that's people will enjoy that. You asking me questions I don't have the answer to. And then the conversation just ending.
People love that gear. Yeah. No, other than that, I got not much from this week's league. It was annoying to see that trend of blowout wins continuing a little bit. Storm 40. Storm 40, Manly 12.
Yeah, but that was the only one. All the rest of them were reasonably tight.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the Roosters-Titans game.
Yeah.
Tight as it comes.
And apart from Newcastle shooting the bed in the last 15 minutes or so, that was a tight game.
Yeah. I also, I was smarting from the Swans loss. I was also smarting from the way the West Tigers finished our season. Going down by a whack to the Bulldogs is just like...
I didn't want to bring it up.
It's horrible. Like, what are we supposed to do? I feel like so angry as a fan now that I wish I had some recourse. Like, I wish that I could, I don't know what, but like fire them all or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, how do we do that? It's been so long. They're so bad. It's a bad club.
Let's work on that for next time. Not 100% sure how regular these are going to be, but, we're back in some form. We're carless. Let us know what you think about that. Is it not as soothing to not have a constant engine hum? If you don't like not having it, I'll put one in. There's no problem. It's no worry for me to get one in.
My internet just said internet unstable. I hope it didn't hurt anything.
No. Maybe it's just a commentary on what it's heard.
You're unstable.
Hey, see you later.
See ya. That's right. It's good to do that again. I want to keep doing more of those. They're fun. Gets a lot of my chud off my chest.
Hello, my name is Piers Grove, and I'm a founder, publisher, and managing director. In March 2022, I'd just been named Managing Director of Australian Geographic and set up Scout Publishing. Then everything changed. 404 Brain Not Found, the podcast for stroke survivors and their friends and colleagues. We explore the absurd experience and frustrating journey of stroke recovery. 404 Brain Not Found, a general experiments podcast on all podcast streamers.
My name's Stu,
I'm Rachel.
and we are fans
Obsessives might be the word.
of the 90s. The 90s. The 90s. The 90s. You can follow the podcast on your favourite podcast app. Rachel, what's the name of the show?
Swinging on the flippity flop.
Why the 90s?
Lived it.
We lived it, we were it.
Was it the best decade ever or the lamest? Let's find out.
Flippity flop.